One of the big problems for small or mid-sized businesses is when large businesses take advantage of them. Even if the smaller business has a valuable case in which there's been fraud committed against them, whether a large corporation has breached a contract, the smaller company doesn't have the resources to go up against its army of lawyers. That is where a business needs a contingent commercial law firm. Litigation is very expensive. We absorb the risk of the loss. The client doesn't have to pay us each month an hourly fee. We use our resources that we've developed over 30 years of going against Fortune 500 companies. There are no attorney's fees unless the case is won through settlement or verdict. A litigation funding company often goes through the same type of analysis that a bank would go through. There are tons and tons of documents and supporting documentation that would need to be provided, and that often can take months. And during that time, the litigation isn't going forward. With a contingency firm like McCune, Wright, Arevalo, you're dealing with the partners that make the decision. That can happen in days or at most weeks, as opposed to a litigation funding company that it can take months for them to make a decision. Litigation funding company, they're interested in getting a return on their investment. They can start interjecting themselves into the settlement process. How much more the client gets is no longer in the interest of the litigation funding company. So that litigation funding company can put pressure and try to influence a settlement once they get to a certain threshold. With a contingency law firm, there is no conflict of interest with the client. The law firm wants to get as much money as reasonably possible for the client because it gets a percentage of that. So those interests are perfectly aligned. If you think you have a substantial legal case, call McCune, Wright, Arevalo. We have the resources, we have the experience, we have the background to take on big companies and obtain strong results for our smaller clients. A large corporation should not be able to cheat smaller businesses just because it has more money and more lawyers.